How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I ranked the top 10 first basemen in Diamond Dynasty, so let's go ahead and get right into it. In the last video I focused on catchers. In this one I will be talking about first baseman, and we're going to start it off with a couple of honorable mention cards. Babe Ruth is a set 1 player, so you'd have to use him in your wild card spot. However, I do feel like Babe Ruth is definitely a player that would be worth it to plug in there, maybe at the DH position or even first base. I kept him off the list because he is a set 1 card, but if he wasn't, he would be at the top. Another honorable mention would be John Donaldson. This card to me is a really good outfielder. I think he has some added value because he is a pitcher, but I think you could use him at first. I didn't put him on the list because of those things, but ultimately definitely a valuable card. Up next, we have the last honorable mention, and I don't think these honorable mentions are in any specific order, but I wanted to include Bryce Harper. I think just because the fact that he has first base on his card adds a lot of value to this player. But as far as defense goes, reaction is probably the most important thing. I do like having some type of arm strength there just in case you need to throw a runner out that's maybe fast, trying to round third base on maybe a ground ball. But with that being said, we're getting into the top 10 here. We have, to start it off, Buck O'Neil. To me, this card is really good. He's more of a contact hitter against righties, but he also plays outfield, and you might have him in your top 10 for the outfield, but I think, you could use him at first. He's going to be locked down over there. One thing you're going to notice about my personal rankings is the fact that I like to look for an outlier, at least somewhere. A lot of these guys are going to have some good speed, or they're going to have something that separates themselves from the average first baseman. Typically, I do like to use an outfielder. We have Jackie Robinson, who I might use in the outfielder at second base, but I think he's a top 10 first baseman. He has 99 speed, he's got elite contact, he's got pretty good power as well. And then if you want to go with more of a power hitter, we have Vladimir Guerrero at number 8. To me, he's a really slow runner on the base paths. He's not going to be able to hit too many doubles, depending on the field you play at. He's going to hit a lot of home runs, so you won't have to worry about running around the bases, but I just like guys that can do everything. At number 7, we have Chase Utley. To me, this card is really, really good. You might have him ranked below Vlad, but I like using a lefty over at first base, even though Chase Utley is a primary second baseman. Up next, we have Austin Riley, and this card I think is really good. I left him off of the list for the top 15 set 3 cards just simply because to me, he's really only a first baseman or a third baseman. I would probably use him at first over any other position. But he does everything, right? He just doesn't have as many quality attributes as I would like as maybe some of these other cards. I like to use a lefty. I would probably go with Kyle Schwarber over Austin Riley just because of the fact that I like Kyle Schwarber's swing. Same type of thing here with Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson also has some pretty good quirks to go with it. They gave him gold defense, especially once you parallel him up. He will have 80 defense in his secondary position at first base. I think that's pretty solid. To me, Jock Peterson was the best team affinity, or at least one of the best team affinity hitters for me early on. But at number 3, we have Stan Musial. I think the 125 contact with the elite vision is really solid there. He does have, lower fielding than a lot of these other cards. But to me, he's really good. I like him. He's my starting first baseman or my starting DH right now. And up next at number 2, we actually have a catcher in Adley Rutschman. This card, to me, is the best overall catcher. You can use that catcher pop time quirk. He's a switch hitter. Or if you have both of these cards, I would use Joe Mauer at first and Adley behind the plate. That's probably the way to go there. If you don't have either one, then you might go ahead and pick up that budget Adley Rutschman, that 97 overall card. But that's really going to do it for this video. I'm College Lefty, and those are my top 10, 15